Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
What time is it? It's winning time with Pick 4. Win over $40,000 around the clock with Pick 4. It's the easiest pick in town. And with 4 draws daily, you get more chances to win over $40,000 with a wager over $10. What time is it? It's winning time with Pick 4 from the Caribbean Lottery. Get your tickets today.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hey, look at you stepping out in a designer dress and brand new shoes.
Well, I step up my winnings with Red Hot and Wild 9s.
It's the new Red Hot and Wild 9s $10 instant scratch ticket from the Caribbean Lottery with over $900,000 in cash prizes and 20 chances to win with a top prize of $100,000.
So you play Red Hot and Wild 9s yet?
Yes, but I didn't get new shoes like you.
Why not?
Because I'm not walking.
Step up your winnings with the new Red Hot and Wild 9s instant scratch ticket from the Caribbean Lottery.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves Kevon and Amali, and with Azim on the 1s and 96s. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on WINNMedia 98.9.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, featuring Azim on the ones and 96s and Jade on the OBS and the mouse.
Kevon, did you just doze off?
No way. I can't give dramatic pauses.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's only dramatic for us, because like the listeners.
All right, the listeners. I just forget sometimes that they have listeners and viewers, you know. Because I just frequently interact with the viewers. Because they're always just saying wild things. But I just also forget that people could actually just hear me and not see me.
This guy.
But, good morning.
Morning.
And
I don't know why I just come in here and act like a cheerful.
It's the radio.
It's the radio.
It's the radio.
Like I've been here like morning. That would
you
never.
really not like that?
That would never happen anywhere else.
Right.
Next thing you know, I get a girlfriend now, and she just like getting these. Witty really gonna feel like you like this?
Witty knows I'm polyamorous.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
congrats.
Congrats to y'all.
Yeah.
You found peace.
And no dogs were involved.
Literally and figuratively.
I get it. But
Speaking of which, right? and like hailing up people and so a lady met me yesterday, and she was like, "I'm very disappointed in you." And I was like, "Excuse me, I don't know who you are." I literally said, "Excuse me, I don't know who you are," and she was like, "But I know who you are." And you made promises to me and you didn't keep the promise. And I was like, excuse me? I still don't know who you are. And she goes, yes, a few weeks ago you said you were going to big people up every morning and you haven't been doing it. So I was like, oh, I vaguely remember this.
That's why I start making promises to these listeners and viewers, because they don't forget. Like y'all, I just make them with good intentions and then I just truly forget. And then y'all just drag me when y'all see me.
So I told her I would definitely big up that listener. So if you're listening, big up yourself.
Listen up.
Also, this morning, I'd want to big up all the people going through divorce right now. You know, it's rough. But hey, sometimes you gotta do it. No, there's people, let that happen.
Yeah,
big up yourself one time.
I just didn't see that one coming.
No. That's the whole point. The whole point is to big up the people that usually don't get big up.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Carry on.
Okay.
Keep it up.
I hear you.
So divorcees to the idiot.
Yeah, big up yourself, divorcees. You know, it could be rough.
It could be worse.
I hear you.
It could be worse. At least you have life.
Oh, that's what we can tell them when we big them up.
It could be worse.
Wow.
At least you have life.
It could be worse.
No.
But it's true, at least you have life.
No,
you don't have a spouse, but at least you have life.
Hey, but let me tell you something, right? I'm sure for some of these people, although it might be a difficult journey, it's probably something that they welcome.
Why is it so easy to get married, but so hard to get divorced?
History. And money.
It is to get married?
Yeah. Kind of.
You think it hard? Do you think that it's hard? You can't think that it.
People don't like letting go of history.
I guess the like the practical part of it, like the actual act of getting married isn't hard, but I mean there's some people out there who've been trying to get married forever.
Well, not that part. We're talking more about the part that it's just like ready to go, let's do this. I do. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
But then, the divorce is, because there's two things. Is like I said, is the money and the history. Letting go of history is not an easy thing to do.
So people would be so happy for you getting married, right? Like they would be like, yes, go for it, push for it. But as soon as you're getting divorced, they want to stop you.
And they want to discourage you from seeking happiness.
Let me have the same energy that I had going into
this. It's not the same thing. So why would you want the same energy?
You can decide.
But we're not deciding that you shouldn't get divorced. We're just saying like.
No, sometimes we need to encourage people to get divorced.
Perhaps, but what I'm saying is, in the absence of the information, we know that this is something that happens at what. It's not always relevant.
So,
not relevant, but it's not always the time and place. So, for instance, the way I look at it is like this: at one point in time, you obviously wanted this, right? So now you're indicating to me that something that you wanted so much so to go through and make these promises and commitments and this union that you no longer want it anymore. So it's not hard to assume that there's some negative energy, that there's something that you don't exactly like.
So divorces can't be positive?
Divorces aren't things that come out of things being great. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it obviously signals that there's something that's not totally right here.
Well, divorces, we are rooting for you. If nobody else rooting for you, ILNT is rooting for you.
We got you covered.
Let's just say Jade doing that. I don't know.
You just said big them up, so no, you're not rooting for them?
Just because I just want to recognize them and their plight.
All right.
Jade, somebody's complimenting you and you're here. They're telling you it's very cute.
Thank you. Rasnaki did it.
Who's Rasnaki?
Hit her up. One of the best lacticians ever. Yeah. She's like magical fingers with when it comes to locks.
Nice.
So if your locks look like cactuses, go to Rasnaki. Azim?
But it's Tuesday, so Tuesday means
Today is
Thursday. I know it was
Wake
a T.
up.
It was a T1.
Wake up. Where's the Ribino? Oh, you finished it. Duh.
It was it's one of those days with a T. So it's Thursday, not Tuesday. It's Thursday. And we all know what Thursday means. It's time to grind some gears.
Indeed.
Am I not about anything this week? Because I feel like we kind of did it yesterday.
Yesterday we ground some gears, but
I had one this morning. Then I forgot it.
You whispering, Jade?
I had one this morning, and then I forgot it.
See, I don't know how deep I want to go with my gear that I have to grind, but I think I'll just make it very
surface.
Yeah, very. I won't go into specifics. For now, yes, because it's actually dependent on a conversation that I plan to have with a particular business place.
We woke up this morning and we chose violence.
Yeah. So, what grinds my gears, right? And it's not, and this in this particular case, it's not I won't say the business, but more so the business owner, because the people that actually work there are quite helpful, quite knowledgeable, and from my experience, have really tried to facilitate, me having a good experience.
Okay. Important.
We're going good so far.
Yeah, all important things.
However, the business owner.
Dun dun dun.
So I had an issue where some goods that they were responsible for some reason I haven't received the goods, right? And the workers are telling me, hey, yeah, we understand. We understand everything that's going on. We're going to see what we could do for you. Bam, 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 bam. They come back and tell me, the boss said, really and truly, we ain't doing nothing for you. And he'll just wait on the lawyer letter. No, gross escalation, because up until this point, I was just like, hey, just let me know what's going on. It's been a while. Very cordial.
This also just sounds to me like this is not his first rodeo at not providing what he should be. So I guess he's just used.
Let's go straight to this.
So he's just used to this route anyway.
And I'm just like, but how I don't understand. I don't understand the reaction, because I never said anything about.
The man said we're going straight to it.
The man said no. Basically, his thing is, man, got nothing to do with this. If you want to do anything else, is up to you. And the thing is, all the employees, like, I'm listening to the conversations between the employees and the boss, and they're going, boss, like, we kind of responsible for the man things, like it's kind of our fault. And his reaction is just like, nah. Me really feel like doing nothing.
Yeah, man, I don't agree. The man was like, I don't agree.
And
it is my fault. No.
Yeah, and you see, the issue is, if I take it upon myself to like blast these people in the public, like I come off as being like just this angry black man, and the guy who somehow escalated the situation past where it should have been, when really and truly I just was looking for some answers. So, and I've experienced similar with several business owners. Now, this is also a business that I frequent. Like, thousands of dollars of my money has been put here when there are other viable options. And the reason I chose there is because of the employees. Like, they always deal with me good, so I support the business. But the business owner, who doesn't reside here, by the way, all this happening on the phone. Like,
Shocker.
of course. So I just waiting to see exactly how this thing play out, because I come back and just like call him and tell the whole story, because me understand the reaction.
You're gonna choose real violence next
Real
time.
violence. Because no, the problem is I feel like the position that they take is, man, you're just one customer. We really care about you and your gripes. Do whatever you want. I can still hear me making money hand over fist. And it's unfortunate that you take that. It's unfortunate when business owners take that type of approach.
Yeah.
Because not because I just one of your thousands of customers, you should treat me like as if like my concerns don't matter. Like and that's the thing that I really go in my gears, when business owners feel like you owe them or they don't owe you just common courtesy and thing. It's ridiculous.
People don't really have any, responsibility, feel like any need to provide customer service. Like,
and the thing is, in some of these companies, like, it filters down, It filters down.
Mm-hmm. How do you expect the owner of the company, how do you expect the employees of the company to practice customer service when the owner of the company is just straight up rude?
And one of the issues that I'm having as well is, just the fact that I can sense the embarrassment in the employees. Like, he's putting the employees in such an awkward position.
Right, because the sad part is they are usually the ones to receive
the face of the business.
Right, they receive the backlash for, any sort of inconvenience that occurs.
And like I said, in this particular case, the business owner doesn't even really reside on island, so it's like,
You're just rude to me for no reason.
Not only that, but he just leaves the employees now to deal with the backlash.
Yeah.
Because if I was a different person, the reaction may have been different. And who knows, it may be that way after the next conversation. But the employees are the ones who you have to deal with. And really and truly,
I don't care.
The I don't care attitude from business owners does really go in my gears, I'm telling you. Really, really, especially when things just like blatant to the point where your employee is telling you like, boss, like, no, it's kind of us. Like we kind of in the wrong here.
But it is what it is. I guess sometimes you just have to wonder if these owners actually want to conduct business. Like, do they want the business? Do they want the money? To provide a service? Like, what it is you want? Why are you providing this service if you're really truly acting like you don't want to?
And that some of them don't want to, right? But because they have the monopoly on certain things,
they just do as they please.
Yeah, because they don't have competition, so they could, not in all cases, but in some, in some of them, they just,
It's crazy.
Amali, okay?
What just happened?
You're very bright today. You look like a wildcat.
Oh.
You are dressed like a wildcat.
Yeah.
A washy wildcat.
That's why he looks so depressed.
I put on the orange and just not like began to crumble before me immediately.
Now I feel like your life can kind of crumble, like,
It's crumbling more.
Oh.
It's not turning into dust.
Dust ain't all that bad.
What?
It doesn't blow
It could have
away.
been worse.
Could have been worse.
I have life.
You have life. How you can't experience anything bad because you have life.
I'm alive.
You have no reason to be unhappy or sad because you have life.
Yeah.
No matter what life is doing to you, you have it.
No matter what you're doing to you. You're alive, so shut up.
There are many people who don't have life.
You started singing that song and I had a serious flashback because that was like one of the songs that...
Did you play the dance them?
And most of the schools...
That's the church,
no,
the
like
church
what
song.
it
That's
was
the church song.
That was a graduation song?
No, that's the
no,
church
that
song.
was more
That's
like
the big
a...
church song.
Celine Dion.
You mean the Jamaican queen?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Celine Dion
Celine
is a
Dion,
Jamaican.
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Celine Dion is a big Jamaican.
Big Jamaican. She don't even know.
She knows.
Oh, okay.
She knows. She's Jamaican.
I know when she checks the streams, because I'm sure you could check the streams on certain songs worldwide. She did just always see Jamaica at the top and wonder like, what
happened down there, boy?
Oh boy. Amali, anything grinding you yesterday? As him says, business owners don't care about him. What about you?
They don't care about nobody.
Right?
They don't care about nobody. That's why I had to walk in the establishment abusing in advance.
I got to take that approach.
It'll be preemptive upset.
So good.
You know this grind me gears the most. I think I said it before. Speaking of business places, when I walk into a business place that is like empty, and the frontline worker, the first person you see is on their phone, and the issue is not them being on their phone, but then when they notice you,
ignoring you,
there's no urgency to get into, service mode. Like, I don't expect you to be sitting, I don't expect the place to be, establishment to be empty and you're just sitting there smiling, waiting for somebody to come in. Okay, use your phone, whatever, nobody cares. I would probably do it too. But the second you see somebody enter the door, like, put the phone down and prepare yourself, good morning or whatever, but it's not, you walk into the place and it's just, they're still on the phone. And you're up in you literally standing there.
If I could have seen myself on the screen.
You're literally standing there trying to request service, and they're still on their phone, and you got to wait for them to finish their WhatsApp voice note or message or something, and it's just like, hello, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, that's weird to me. I've actually like walked into establishments, kind of been like, and got that response and just walk out like. Okay.
I've told somebody never.
I really want to spend my money here anymore.
I told somebody never mind before I went to order food from a certain place and the person was on their phone. I approached the counter. Mm-hmm. The head was down. They saw me because when I entered, they looked up. They saw me. Then they went back down on their phone. I come up to the counter and I'm just standing there waiting. Still standing there waiting. So I literally said out loud, never mind. And I turned around and I walk out. She said, what happened? I said, I come into the establishment. I said, you didn't even look up to me and ask me, how am I or anything, what would I want to order? She said, well, right here, you could have just said your order. I said, so I must talk to the top of your head? I said, like I said, never mind. And I walked out. Like, we ain't doing that. Come better than that. It's ridiculous. Like I said, we're not asking you to not touch your phone. You're going to. Everybody is going to. However...
Except in business places that regulate that you can't touch your phone.
Right. Which you still will.
Which is wild.
But...
like vibes.
You... imagine when you...
It's true.
I think some business places it makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially places where there's, especially in places where there's personal information.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. But I mean, like
you can be on the bank line like with your phone, like.
Right.
Bank tellers don't usually have their phones either.
Yeah. Anyway, with like people's personal information and so you could just like snap people like.
Right. Take pictures.
HIV status and so.
Right.
Like let's keep the phones in your bags, please.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
We don't have phone out yesterday. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, it's something that many people know, but not many people challenge. And it's actually how we are taxed in St Kitts and Nevis. I believe we're one of the only places where we are taxed on top of taxes.
But how much time I'm coming here come ball about this, right?
Wait, no, but I got a specific example yesterday. So yesterday I was at a particular car dealership, assisting a colleague in looking for a vehicle.
Oh, just it was.
Wait no.
Wait
no. So we inquired about the price, etc., and the particular person is receiving or would possibly receive duty free on the vehicle.
Right.
So we inquired about duty free costs, etc., and we found out that even if the duty is removed from the tag on the price, you are still paying VAT on the full duty, even though you didn't pay it.
Yep. Bro.
So the car costs 100 grand. The VAT is 17%. Let me start to work. I'm really bad at maths. The car costs 100 grand VAT inclusive. Right? The duty comes off. Let's say the duty is 50%. Right? You're still paying VAT on $100,000, even though you bought the car for 50 grand.
Okay, so this is my problem. Like,
and this ain't hearsay. This is what I experienced yesterday.
Bro, this is even outside of like the whole duty free element that makes it. Double taxation is illegal. Is illegal. Like, let's put it out there, right? How are you implementing tax on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then implementing other taxes that I then have to pay on the tax that you implemented.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Like, and then this is the problem I have with this, right? It's something like VAT. Like, okay, this is what I hate about taxes too around here. I hate when they give me taxes that have and they name it something that have nothing to do with what the actual tax is.
For example?
VAT. It stands for value added tax, like, which really means, right? It's the tax that's placed on a good based on the value added through something like production.
Yeah.
So if you take like wool from a sheep and then turn that wool into thread or cloth or whatever, there's value that is added to that good, and then the difference there is taxed. So that's how you keep the taxation as goods move through, like things like manufacturing and shipping and all them kind of things, right? You can't just walk out by and just tax everything 70% and call it VAT. There's no value being added. Where the value being added? No, they did. What I'm saying is, then just call it flat tax.
You
Just
can tell the people what to call the tax?
Obviously not. I'm just saying it upsets me when they do them things.
The people them.
How is this even possible? So I bring in something from Amazon, right? They can tell me no problem. Of course, the port needs its discharge. Boom, jam me with a 6% there, right? Then on top of that, customs duties, which varies, but usually somewhere around 30-something%, right? Then you still have to work out. You have to pay to ship it here. Let's drop the freight on there.
The freight, yeah.
So you have at least these three costs, right? And then you go add up all of that plus the price, 17% of that. Let's add it back to the final.
After on total.
You figure to everything.
It's robbery.
You can't impose the tax and then work out. I must pay taxes on the tax.
The VAT needs to be calculated
and
based
the cost
on the cost of the item.
Cost of the item.
All four taxes need to be calculated separately and then added. So if it could cost $50, is the 6% of the 50 for the port, the 35% of the 50 for customs and thing, and then 17% of the 50 for the value added tax. And then you sum those three taxes, and then that should be different, and it will be significantly less. But no accountability. Just doing as they want in this country, I tell you.
We have somebody? Oh, we have a call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I always argue concerning that paying tax and taxes, and that's a very hard one. And I don't know. That is not even so much the issue, but who do you go to get redressed on these matters? Who do you talk to? Those are some of the biggest issues that I have. But one of the things that I notice, you all normally hit and run. When you talk about getting married is the easiest thing to do, is to get in, the hardest thing to get out. you hit and run, but I could tell you this, that most people who are divorced, they should not have get married in the first place.
Yeah, man, who else stay out?
Well, not really, because marriage is a good thing.
Okay.
And it's a thing that everyone should do. But most of the time, someone wants to marry to someone, and that person don't want to marry to them. So they grab the first person.
That ain't close to the top.
And they find themselves in a marriage, whereas they don't want to be. And so when they wake up in the morning and they look at that person and they pull it, they say, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Yeah, that's most people, though.
They want to get out.
That's most people, but they just don't say it out
They
loud.
don't say it, but what happens is that they're stifling and they're dying within themselves because they glory in the wedding day and the dawn of the bride and all of that, and people eat and drink and so on. But
there's a focus on the wedding as opposed to the marriage.
Well, yes, that's not the person they really want to be with. So they take who they get. It's like you go in town. If you can't get a lift in a road where you're going out, whatever it is you could get to go to, you just want to reach town. And when you reach town, you say, no, man, I'm never riding that again. So you get off, but you've been there and you've done that. And so they're looking for another transportation that comes along. And some people are looking for security. People marry for lots of different reasons. And they don't concern about their partner.
Right,
but
right.
it's a fact. But thank you very much. The points are good, and I'm listening. Continue to have a great day.
All righty.
I agree. But I had a girl when y'all was talking about the value and stuff being brought in, right? So y'all know y'all could be on this list where no matter what you bring in, they charge you as a commercial? It's commercial?
Yeah, business, yeah.
How does that make sense? So if
they determine that you're a business owner.
So if I'm a business owner and I want to bring in a fork for my house, I have to pay a commercial cost?
If you sell forks or things,
but
of
they
that
don't
nature.
know. That's the thing. They
that's
charge
the
you. They charge you on everything. They don't know
That's the
what
fun
you
part
sell.
of it,
Yeah, that's the
because
issue. But what usually happens too is that a lot of those people they use the freight forwarders like a Westec or E-Zone and stuff.
Yeah.
My suggestion to people like that, use like a Crowley or Tropical and deal with the customs yourself, as opposed to having, because the truth is the person who is there talking to the customs officer about the good. They not only that, but they
have the knowledge either.
They don't have that knowledge about what this good is for.
Yeah, but
so in other words,
class everybody like that. I feel
but they're not classing everybody. They're classing some people who they understand. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, not everybody. You can't class everything like
They
that.
have to if you're not the one telling them which is which. That's what I'm saying. So go to the people yourself. Go to customs yourself.
But
and
even
it works out
doing
better.
even going to them after to work it out is a long.
Not after. That's
you
what I'm
have to
saying.
prevent it.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. If
Go to
I
clear
know,
them from customs yourself.
you're right.
Yeah.
So if I'm customs, I know that you sell goods. I can't tell which of the goods.
All I know is J Gas store downtown.
Right. So what happens
Man,
is now
like
you're
this
sending
curtain,
somebody to clear this
it's for
thing.
the store or
you
for your
don't
house?
know what this thing is for either. So of course they can just have to charge you like you're coming in for this store. You see what I'm saying? So what I suggest for people like that is to go to customs yourself.
Hold on, okay, because I've never sold anything in that capacity, and the same thing happened to me. I don't have a store anywhere or anything, but I was charged like a commercial customer.
It happens. And
So how do we prevent that now?
Go
Because
to customs.
Go to customs.
so what?
If
so
it
what-
happen once and if it has happened, the following time, go up there yourself.
Yeah, it only happened to me once. I was charged as a commercial customer and I wasn't selling anything.
Yeah, them things happen. But like I said, like that's kind of one of the risks they run with doing the middleman. Because you're not there to speak on your own behalf. And the person who is clearing the good doesn't necessarily know anything about you, what this good is for, or whatever. They're providing a service. So that's like one of the risks you run. So like certain things, I would send like a tropical or whatever where I know I could go and And even some
FedEx too.
Yeah.
FedEx interact with the customers personally.
Mm-hmm.
Now call it them.
No.
Call it does all that for you, and you go by Hobson to collect your things.
They don't have the customs in at their thing now, ain't that?
Customs comes to clear the container for them.
Okay.
And charge them before you even get the card to say come for your things.
Right, gotcha.
Right, so when you come, you're just paying only one flat fee, which includes all the tariffs, and you drive out the yard. You don't have to deal with customs or anything.
The good thing though, I do recognize that the port authorities like have been making strides to try and like fix some of the issues with the process. Cause there were some issues.
Yeah.
The length of time you spend up there, that kind of thing. So like they have been making some strides in that regard. But the whole issue, like Jade saying, like the car sometimes is inconsistencies, but for me the tax thing is a killer buy, especially for somebody like me who like competes with like vendors in other countries that don't have to pay taxes. So my cost is so much higher than some of my competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy. Like if I like we always tell people things like, you know, you can't just see St Kitts as your market. The world is your market. Globalization. Look at what the internet. And it's like, yeah, but it's not a level playing field. Like if I have to compete with people from St Martin who don't pay duty and hardly anything.
It doesn't make sense.
Like it's difficult. Like especially when you're paying in some cases almost 80 to 86% of the cost of the good just to receive the good. Like it's.
That's before markup. That's before anything.
Yeah. So by time if I'm going to how I'm going to compete with people who can have prices that are literally half mine because they have half of the cost.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hear people say when they go to man food so cheap. I say yeah, it's free. Restaurants, these niggas got to pay some serious duties plus markup on things that they bring in from the wholesalers. So the wholesaler bring it in and paying VAT and tax and import duty and so, and then they put on the markup, and then you as a retailer have to buy it from the wholesaler, and they add your markup.
Yeah.
Food must cost a lot of money.
Crazy.
Must.
But the world is your market.
The world is your, but don't complain.
Don't complain because you know why?
Life.
You have life. Okay, so just to let everybody know, we see the calls coming in, but we're having trouble patching through the calls. So we are not ignoring you, but we got to call live. Caller, good morning.
A lot.
But again, we are having trouble receiving calls. If you trying to call, try to use the mobile numbers because the
6620989 7620989.
Right, because the landlines are giving a bit of trouble. Yeah, welcome to St Kitts.
You know, going to make years as well. How we, and it happens in all societies where we have customs and traditions, and people feel like you're crazy or disrespectful for questioning them.
Yeah.
Questioning the status quo and questioning the norm. That really grinds my gears. And I believe Bailey would speak to this one as well. Yesterday I was speaking to a young lady. And she said, Amali, you want to get married? Not to her, I mean just in general. And I was like, no.
Man said that they were dressed by.
No. And then she was like, for sure, how come? I said, why should I? You know her response was, what do you mean, why should you? What kind of question is that? They have no defense for it, no question, no answer for it. Zero answer. It's just something that we feel we need to do, so why you ain't want to do it?
We got the calls. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes. Happy belated birthday greetings to Jade.
Thank
Get in
you.
yesterday, but I have something here that is grinding my gears with you guys.
Oh.
Now, we all talk about the businesses and bad services, right? But it's annoying me every time when I see you guys giving these guys so much pot and they don't sponsor the show. If you could give them so much pot, go out and let them put in some kind of money into your show so you can at least talk about the business then. But don't do it for free. You guys do this all the time, and I just don't like when you all do it because you give them a free advertisement. So if you're going to talk about them, at least let them say something and then you say, look, I'm going to just talk about your business for a couple of seconds or whatever on my show, and if you could just donate something to the sponsorship. That's where my idea. Thank you.
Okay.
The man basically
The
said
man
it.
say what
No
grinds
free
his
plug.
gears is when
No
all
free
you
plug.
take free things. Pay up. Pay up.
Sponsors,
Thank you,
you
Carla.
listening?
We needed that encouragement.
Sponsors.
I don't bang them out for free.
Here.
You know, I think that's one of my favorite Kittian slangs. Like you bang in your mouth.
Bang your mouth, yeah.
Because it's so specific. Like it is so specific. You are banging your mouth. You're just talking a whole lot. Unwarranted, because banging your mouth means like you're talking and nobody asking you. But you know. Thank you for that caller. We trying. No, we lost another caller. Again, guys, we see the calls coming through on the landlines, but we're having trouble connecting them. Call the what's it called? The mobile numbers, and we'll probably get to patch you in.
But yeah, Amali, like the funny thing is, like, you could make an argument for why, like, marriage as an institution is less relevant now, based on certain factors and things happening in society. But when you ask people again, okay, make the argument for it. Like it's
because the Bible says so. Because society says it's the right thing to do. Families are important and all of these things. All of these things.
Yeah. But hey,
you have life.
Yeah. But do what for you, man? Cause like I do see some really good examples of marriage. I have good examples, but I don't think there's hardly anything in this world that is inherently good or solely good and or solely bad, and there's hardly anything that is for everybody, except the girl from sorry.
Oh dear.
What happened?
Nothing. It's okay. Amali, you okay?
Yeah.
I'm stressed.
I read the comments.
That statement
They
just
give me stories about how custom the target their family and so. Somebody just said, customs like target people. My family used to get harassed because a family member has a business and would innocently be coming in and they're harassing us because they feel like they're bringing in goods for the business.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that needs to be addressed.
I mean, it really does kind of depend on the type of business. If you're doing retail, like, yeah.
And my sister come in with some clothes. They're gonna watch it a little sideways, a little suspicious.
Well, I mean, if your sister don't have any children and it's like all baby clothes,
and you
have a baby store,
they feel less smart, see?
You had a baby, or your baby in a baby no more, you're still buying baby clothes.
And your sister
I just
have a
love
baby
to give
store.
away baby clothes to my neighbors.
Racks and racks.
But that's the thing too, a lot of people.
But that's the thing, a lot of people don't.
A lot of people
clear.
overbuy for babies, you buy this.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, you buy this lot of things for the baby, and before the baby could even put it on, it done outgrow
By
it.
the time they reach, the baby done too big.
I learned that early. Don't like people buying, which is no problem because it's your baby. You could do what you want with your baby. But I see parents buy like a lot of sneakers and all of that for newborns.
And they will put them on
and
once.
next week none could fit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because that breast milk.
Hey, let me tell you something, right? Like, I don't understand parents who buy like the expensive baby shoes. Like maybe like one pair.
I know what you mean. Shoes. I mean the Jordans and
the Jordans and the Tims.
Like you could like
yeah, but lift up a baby Tim. Yeah, must have as an adult Tim.
Yeah, but that's not my issue. They can put it on once,
literally,
or twice, if so much.
Feet go so fast that this week that could fit, and next week is a wrap.
Like I get it, it's cute, but
it's so cute.
Oh my gosh, like I just.
I don't know if it's cute.
Just
I don't think baby Tims are cute.
Yeah, on a baby.
Yeah, cute.
Oh my gosh, I just feel it weird. Like there's this baby like in baggy jeans and like.
And adult shoes.
Like it looks weird, man.
Look
they cannot move them even if they wanted to.
Donna May buying the shoes for the baby until he could walk.
See that position, I could see the logic in.
And every woman on the earth disagrees with me. But I have these arguments every day. I on my daughter and be like, where's your shoes?
What she need shoes
She forget
for?
I would say she forget to put them on when she left the house.
We're in a recession. I must put money on shoes and she don't want.
Why does she need shoes though? She just needs socks. She just needs to keep her feet warm. That's all.
Warm from what? We live in the tropics.
I'm at school at night sometimes. Okay.
She's in swaddling clothes at that time.
At night she's in bed on a blanket.
Okay.
Not outside catching dew.
Okay then.
Well, Amali is anti-socks.
Anti-clothes.
Primitive.
He said this many times.
Go back to
People are gonna train in tongues and you wash your face and see the child suffering.
Because I got too much clothes.
Socks and shoes and thing and a hat and mittens and I just like we're not in New York City.
You see
in January.
You see kids in mittens in St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the earmuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're playing now.
No, I'm so serious.
And the hat and so you take out the hat and the child head wet.
But that's how children get sick.
And the thing what bother me, right, is they'll have on so they'll have on the uniform, right? Winter garb.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say early fall, right? And in addition to all of that, the parent then has a rag that is used specifically to wipe the child's sweat. It's like, wait, what kind of here?
Like you're forcing your child to sweat, and then you're gonna have to put a rag on hand to wipe the sweat you're forcing.
The man people argue
But
straight.
it's cute. That's generally
cute.
the counter argument. It's cute.
If the baby could talk, he would say,
Why?
take this
You know
off.
the
Stop
way
killing
make
me,
girls?
mommy.
You know the way make girls? The boys and the baby girls.
Why? What?
Because I spent half the day fixing it because it keep falling off.
Falling up. They have no hair. Where's their ball?
And they have no consciousness, no awareness of the ball either. So like they're just doing things and they just she wanted fixing. Oh, she wanted fixing. Oh, she wanted for the whole day. I just take them off and bat them in the backseat.
No, but you know, my whole thing is like
They don't have hair.
the child's hair is so thin at this point and it's so sparse. But you put in a bow on.
It's cute.
It's cute.
You see there again.
It's cute,
you see what
but
that is the only argument
What no?
for the irrationality
What
of
no?
these decisions.
When I pick up my daughter, right, should I be having all these things and the socks and everything, and when she reach back home, it's a vest and a pamper.
What's the one?
Let us get word. Yes, the child coat.
No.
If she was cold, she would express that.
Yeah.
Should be shivering.
When babies are comfortable, they let you know. The girl dribbling. Knockout. Yes, she could. No, she's not. She's sweeping peacefully. And she presses she pamper like a true tuggy.
Might as well just put the child in the oven and go. But no, some of y'all children, their faces literally be like damp because of how they're sweating.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro.
And they got socks and they foot them wet.
Bro, what is wrong with the afro? What is wrong with a child having a little baby afro?
Nothing.
I cannot understand.
They're forcing the twigs.
The poor head. But yo, which child services? Which child services are doing these things going on?
Is the girls? You ever see a child when they with the mother versus with the father?
But totally different.
When they with the mother is a lot of things and things happening when they're with the father. They're barefoot in the yard eating dirt. Don't put on your mouth. They say that. Hear me out, man.
Yeah, be alright, man. And good for immune system.
honestly, like you just kind of have to give up at it.
No one can kill you.
But it's everything too. Like you know that child will just keep climbing. Eventually, it's just like, go ahead. You when you drop, you'll know. Don't go back
That
up.
is me and Jaden because I would tell Jaden stop 20 times and Jaden would just be like, nah.
That boy is a different story. Yeah? When we buy Auntie Donna, right? Good morning, Auntie Donna. When we buy Auntie Donna, right? I want them, you know.
You want them?
Auntie Donna said, go for Jade. I said, Jade, because she's son, you know. She said, what am I supposed to mean? I said, like your house? She said, what's going for the woman, see? I said, man, my big and Jade, you know, but just understand that she's walking with a hurricane. Yeah.
You're setting up yourself.
My mother's the
Jaden
woman.
is adventurous,
Shit,
okay?
you know. He's a Taliban.
Jaden is adventurous. He likes to explore
Bailey,
and look at things.
I said,
and
no problem
touch.
here, the joke on you.
No, that is true. He likes to touch and explore and figure out things himself. He's not No, he's not a.
He's a warlord.
You know how there's kids that just sit still because they have a tablet and all of that? Jaden isn't one of those kids.
I give Jaden Jade phone to watch a cartoon. Jaden just take with the phone and back across the room.
He's not. He don't.
The man said, "Oh, I'm going down." The man doesn't want to run.
That's what I'm telling you. He's not like a tablet and.
Wait no. So I want them here. I said the joke. Come here, are you? Because No, I can't when he reach in here and start to mash up things, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I said, but he can't mash up nothing in here. This is my house. I said, okay, I'm coming back. I got for JD, bye. Before JD put on the man foot in the start to this up in the ear. The man gone. The man gone.
I tell you, he just like, and because it's a new environment for him. So in Jaden's mind, he says he sees things to touch and play with. He don't care if it's in your house and you have 1,000 ornaments.
You know, after 5 minutes, this had to say,
and play with.
I'm going to take out your hand. Me? Lay my shit up. Until I don't bring me up.
Jaden is a sweetheart, okay? He just loves to explore.
Yeah, I used to be like that. My uncles used to call me like Super D for Super Destroyer. And my grandmother, like when I go by my grandmother's house when I was younger, I'd have to wait like outside. Everybody else could go inside. And I'd have to wait out on the little landing area there.
That's the only safe space you had?
No, it was just for her to give her enough time to take down all her crystal and everything, and then I'd be able to enter the house. But I couldn't go in before she.
Jane, remember of a cousin I have, you know? He big now, like a big man, I'm gonna be and so, but when he was small, the man was like Speedy Gonzalez, like.
Terror.
No. Like the thing, what I can't tell me about,
The Tasmanian devil.
No. That too, but no, he was more like the beep beep.
Road.
The man needs to run at all times, even in small spaces.
Yeah,
we in the mall and so shopping and thing up in Montreal, and the man like he might just get up afterwards, just like, you know, if he did. But I couldn't stand inside you, so hold the hand and be like, yo, like you don't go nowhere. And the man like he dying like like a crackhead, like who need a fix, like he just need to run. You hear one day, the man running in the living room, right? And boot up into the corner of the wall.
Oh.
And split the forehead in half. Wow. The man just had a line come down his forehead, blood everywhere. I say, yeah, man, in your backside.
But you know that happened to me once. That's it. Like not me, I was winning.
Where was the corners?
I don't know. Continue. I think that's where Jaden got it from, because I'm a very hyper person.
While you're talking, right, I just think it to myself. Jay don't see where this come from.
No, I do.
And the father, the same thing, him.
But my father said that when I was a baby, I used to act like Jaden, so I just have to allow it.
This is the part where I pretend to be shocked.
Yeah. So one time.
And they don't learn, you know. They don't learn.
We don't.
You're not the same. They'll buy bossy forehead in half. When a hospital gets stitches and come back home and continue running the same.
Of course.
Because it's fixed.
Let me tell you something. I really trust me. I really see where Jaden gets it from, because I could remember twice distinctively. I injured myself doing things I was supposed to do and winning. Once, well, this first one was kind of like an accident. You know how houses have like passageways and they have doors, so you go through the
houses have passageways and doors?
All of them don't have this setup, okay? All of them. I digress. So.
Go ahead.
So, the door for the passage to go to the bathroom usually is open. And there's a curtain, because you know old people like these thick curtains in the house.
Privacy.
The curtain was down.
Even though we have walls now. But
yeah. The curtain was down and the door was closed.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So, you know, I got up to use the bathroom and decided to 100-meter sprint.
So
straight into the door.
Door.
Just split.
Yeah, bye.
Everything just break.
I didn't think I needed to pay anymore. it was just over.
You probably pay, but you didn't even know.
Yeah.
Everything was a wrap.
At least the curtain catch the world.
Yeah, let's take it here.
And then one other time, like if you look at my foot, I have like 2 scars going down my foot, big scars. And one time I went to pick up the clothes off the line, and this was like months after Hurricane George.
It's the first time I ever realized you had feet, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's like you don't realize your little knees.
No, I just mean like I don't watch your legs.
Sorry, that was uncalled for. May well mean sorry.
I know this is not a safe space. I know I come here to be abused daily.
Over there is not a safe space. That's why there's a glass.
Yeah, Kevon don't need something to
Because, wow.
No.
Uncalled for.
The camera all fall out.
The cameras tap out. Camera said,
It did. So I went outside to pick up these clothes, and there's like What is these things called? What they're attached to houses, but they're not like they're not a shed, but the awning.
The awning. Awning is the thing that the shade.
Yeah, it was a galvanized one, so it had like galvanized poles and all of that. Hurricane George went with that. So I ran outside now to go pick up these clothes. Trip over it, right? But I just get up because, like, me feeling nothing at this point.
Yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't feel nothing till you see.
let me tell you something. As in, I pick up all the clothes off the line, cussing myself like I could have just walked outside, but now once I fall. As soon as I step up on the second step and look down, right? All I saw was white meat.
White meat?
White.
So you get cut.
That was real cut.
You didn't get cut, you had a guab.
Down to the sweetness.
Let me tell you something.
That's a wound.
No, that's a gash. You had a gash.
It was, and it was two. It wasn't even one, it was two.
You lucky I got legs.
Bro.
I used to want to, oh, it's a car. No, sorry.
I like fall in the house, blood everywhere because my grandmother what is?
I feel Jade was a very dramatic child. I feel this was like.
If you look down and see two white patches where skin used to be, I feel like you can fall in the house too. And maybe even talking about little, I talk about like huge. I had to go and get stitches. You think I learned? No. I used to play with like cement blocks and stuff. They fall on my toe.
All of us.
Yeah.
I was very careful as a child though. I used to run Latin when I was in pastor school. We used to just run for no reason. Everybody just run around the school like several laps.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And go back into 15-minute break. So we just won.
Yeah, I was a football.
Did they stop running? Was one day. Yeah, Mali?
Yeah.
I went in there full speed. I talking about like 6 gear.
Up there.
Up with numbers.
Maxing.
Numbers. And Lee decided to put out the foot and trip me when I was running.
That sound like Lee.
And I leaped through the air and I fell on my stomach and my chest.
Oh.
And it knocked all the way out to me. Like, on the ground can't breathe like. That's the last day I ran. I haven't run since.
You haven't run since? I could understand that.
When you knock out and you just
traumatic.
Oh.
I remember one time. I remember one time I fall. The one time I bust my head. I still got this guy, but I just be so angry that my forehead does fold and this kind of fold. Because I always have my face screw up.
Yeah, that's true.
But I fall. I was over the peninsula with my dad. And he was doing a hash. He does do the hash.
Of course.
And I went with him, and I was in the drain, the peninsula drains. I was jumping from side to side, like doing a little side to side thing. But you know them drains full of gravel.
Yeah.
So I reach a part where the gravel was and I slip and I fall and bust my head.
Oh bye. I don't know. Like I've had some crazy ones too. One of them, the one that I feel.
But he did tell me stop multiple times, to which I didn't.
That's why
he just left you.
And then you did eventually stop.
I never went back over there to jump in a drain ever again.
I remember. You remember them? What we call the batter spades, the batter slappers, them.
Mm-hmm.
So, for some reason, I was very jealous of everybody who had them. Kind of at one point, like everybody had them on all the time. I mean, had none. So, I mean, had none. So, like, I eventually got my mother to buy me a pair, but only cool to wear them school. Like, so everybody know you got a pair. So it's like my mother ain't let me wear a better shoes school by. Like, I got school shoes. I mean, you go to school in a slappers. So
you walking in your bag?
No, what happened is that I used to go back to school. My grandfather used to take me back to school in the bus. So I came out while everybody was still eating, put the slappers in the bus, right? Came out to lunch, left my school shoes in there while we driving down, change over. Jump out the bus quick, close the door. You know what I mean? So I'm late coming back from lunch, and you know how the corridors are. And I was in grade 6 at the time. So at that time, you come down the corridor, the first class, and the corner is the grade 6. So you're coming down the corridor, of course. Why all these have to do with physical activity? What can I have with little children?
Yeah, we don't keep still.
So I'm coming down the corridor, and as I usually do, and usually I'll make the right, and calmly walk into Mr. Charles' class. Mr. Charles, big up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This time, however, I didn't take into consideration the change in grip of the bat of spades. So I come down and attempted to take the corner.
And you went straight.
You never sing the song in school? Better to sing on the grip.
Make your father bust your lip.
You wasn't listening.
I wasn't listening. So I started I slid into the corner of the building right there.
I
And
felt that.
I then got up. I then got up, right, and attempted to walk to the class now, ashamed of what had just transpired. Only to have one of my classmates yell out, "As I'm here, Togan."
What do you mean? What do you mean?
As I'm missing a toe?
No, I'm not missing a toe.
Oh.
But
Oh.
I literally just like rammed my toe into the corner of the wall, and my toe was now just like bleeding profusely.
Oh.
You like beat things?
You know, that's the last time I follow a trend. I don't just
Trends
like
ain't for
nobody.
you.
I don't just like nobody know.
Purposes.
Like if I don't follow trends, yeah, like I don't.
Bye.
Ow.
I felt low on hard once. Well, the first time when they treat me, that was actually the second fall in my lifetime. I had one more fall after that when I was an adult, and that day I was like, no. Anyway.
Let me tell you, falling as an adult different, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you what that day too. To this day, that's still haunting me. My first fall was in kindergarten. I was in grade, yeah. Because I went to partial school in grade 2. For kindergarten and grade 1, I was in convent school. You know, in front.
Condolences.
Yeah, bye. I met some good people there.
Yeah. Connections.
So, I big up Miss James one time in kindergarten and Miss Fraser in grade 1.
Miss James Fraser, big up herself.
Yes. So, man, if anybody, you're in convent school though? Mm-hmm. You know the steps that in front of kindergarten and grade 1? It's like 3 steps.
Every class had the steps, right?
No, I'm talking about to lead up to kindergarten and grade 1.
You mean the office?
After grade 1, they got 2 steps and then the office.
The office and then the tree, yeah.
So, break time I down by the bottom there, by wherever down there used to be, I can't really recall. The bell ring, time to go in the classroom. So I run in back to the class, and I decided to run up the steps. And I misjudged the step. And tripped and fell on my face on the corner of the step.
Oh, okay.
You see the scar here? Here or on the other side?
Me see none.
I think. No, you here.
Is here?
Yeah.
Oh, is the scar here?
Oh, okay, I see. It's in the eyebrow.
In my eyebrow.
Chop your eyebrow.
I got one of them there.
On the corner, step by.
I got one of them there.
Yeah, and you know what? It didn't hurt, My head bounced out like BAM! I was like...
Yeah, don't see. Yeah, rock you, but
yes, I got up and like...
I might get dazed.
I get dazed, but... Walk in the classroom, and when I walk in the classroom, right, the class was in there, and everybody's face was struck with horror. Girls had to cry and say, like, I was like, so I just said, what kind of you buy? And then somebody, I think, got Cutie here. Cutie said, Amali, your face is bleeding. I said, my face is bleeding. I looked down, my shot bloody up. You know, I had to scream now. So the teacher. So Miss Fraser come and take me to the office and so by Miss Franks.
Miss Franks,
yeah. Because Miss Franks one time. And all of her beautiful daughters.
Oh, I was just about to say. Okay. That's why I asked if it's Gola them or not, yeah.
Yeah.
Gola big up yourself, she'll listen to.
Yeah. And Miss Franks is a hot girl too? Stop there. That's the next Cali emote now. Anyway, we digress. So
you're gonna make Charles call. Charles gonna call.
Charles, he wave sexy.
Charles gonna come right up in the studio.
Yeah.
We have a call? Oh.
Yeah, so they called me one time, carry me wherever you carry me and so on. I didn't need stitches, but it was It was on the verge of wanting to stitch, but not really. So they sent me back to school with a plaster. There was a lot of blood.
Hey, that must be difficult, when you get them calls as a parent.
You
come to the school.
You try your face bust open, and there's blood everywhere. What?
Bring a shot, because...
But then, some of the parents are sharp. Because I remember other students getting injured and stuff. Because I remember one of my friends he had somebody throw a stone and they catch him in the head. And
somebody bust his head.
That never happened at Pastor School because we were skilled.
No, this one was intentional. It was intentional.
Oh, it was a fight. Oh, okay.
And the person, this was
at Pastor School.
And the person the person didn't know a stone was being thrown at them. They had their back turned.
Yeah.
But the parents you just want to know, are the parents concerned or upset? Because some of them just show up with upset that you make me come up here because you decide to bust your head.
No, watch you, right? No, I have seen this. I have seen where parents come, right? The child there missing a tooth. Remember? Right? And more licks. More licks. The teacher's got me there it wasn't his fault. It ain't matter. It ain't matter who fault it is.
He must keep stealing.
I sent him here with all the teeth this morning.
So you're gonna knock out the next one and make it even. Since you want your teeth, come take a next knock.
And then they make your goggles start water.
And then they bang you because you're crying. I'm getting something to cry about? I'm missing teeth.
You want something to cry about? Let me give you something to cry about.
So you're gonna beat me. And when I start to cry, you're gonna vex me for crying while you're beating me. So the solution is to beat me more.
And then...
No, just know you have something to cry for.
So I was crying for before?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
And then make it was if I go in somewhere and you're about to enter the establishment, hush now, how you going inside? But it likes them still not in.
That is awful.
But yeah, I don't feel bad.
That is awful.
I don't feel bad for the children that try to comply with the orders given by the parents. So they're going into the supermarket and the parents tell them stop crying. And they legit try to stop crying.
Yeah,
Let
me tell you.
The hum. You got the hum cry is after the. Because you need to get the sound out, but you can't, so you got to hum it.
Oh, you want to give something to cry for?
Bye. Let me tell you about the third time I fell.
About you fall way so much in life.
I fell 3 times.
Oh, no, you probably fall.
In 30 years, that's a little bit.
That's
once per decade.
I fall the other day.
Yeah, that's a good average for real.
I used to play football and so I used to fall daily.
Yeah, after Lee found me, I keep still after that. I keep still, but it was over by the Green Valley pub. This is while I was an adult. This happened when I was
Why are you doing in the Green Valley pub as a child?
Wait.
I said this happened as an adult.
Exactly.
It couldn't happen as a child.
Sure, be in there, they sell food on Saturday.
Okay.
And that's what they're doing.
As a matter of fact, every day they sell food.
Exactly. So me and some friends went over, there was on Goat Water Saturday. We got the Green Valley pub one time.
But why they ain't coming on the line?
Love the Goat Water.
Of course.
Just left them, they'll be okay. So, sorry. So I'm at the pub. We Goat Water and thing, and we leaving. The pub got several steps inside there. The pub is like Hogwarts School or Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Yeah.
Lots of corner and bend and turn and you go somewhere and so you walk down 3 steps and then you're walking, assuming it's straight, and you got a next step by yourself, 1 step.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, so we're leaving now, and I on the phone talking to somebody. Many realized we are going, and there was a step down, 1 step down. My mother's. I walk in, and there's a step here, my foot went on the step like that.
Oh.
So my foot was off of it.
Yeah.
And my foot just went like that.
Oh.
And I heard
the pop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard clack, clack, like in my ankle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Listen to me. I passed out before I hit the ground. I remember falling. But what I remember was coming to consciousness and looking up, and all of my friends were lying down on the floor next to me, holding their guts laughing.
I was expecting that.
And the strangers, the woman come out the bar, and when they fanning me and say, you okay? And I look across, and then man over there, rolling. rolling. And me, I coming sweating. And the amount of pain, right? I couldn't walk well for about 2-3 weeks. And my ankle swell and thing. And to this day, if I walk too much,
I get the pain and it come out of my leg. Ankles don't come back. Them small joints don't come back. I tore my hamstring in it was like it was an inter-school actually, running 200 meters, and inter-school used to be at Bastille High School grounds.
So where is it be?
So the 200, good point.
By Washi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. So, the 200 starts down at the bottom and then come up, and it's the hill. You gotta run the hill, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I was in the middle of the pack, right? I think I had like lane 5 or 6. So I did thinking, bye, I got this. Like I got this. I get good lane. I run this hill every day. Okay. I got it. Right? And like that year I was in really good form that year too. So yeah, I thought. So and then on top of that, where he said gun go off, second gun go off, somebody fast start. Amazing. Somebody got home. Better for me. So come back down to start the race now the second time. But Amali is like my mind, body, and the starter's trigger finger were all in sync. As soon as the starter hit the gun, I was out, gone. Reach up to the edge, like where the edge of the bathroom is. Mm-hmm. And I remember distinctly like lifting up my left leg, hearing a pop, and feeling my leg drop. Like I didn't put it down. It fell. Gravity just pulled it down.
It just followed this way.
And at the next attempt to lift up the leg,
it didn't come up.
It didn't come up, and so I just started doing like this like barrel roll in the lane, like just.
So what happened?
But totally tear my hamstring.
Oh my word!
Totally tear my hamstring, boy. That was the end of that. That was it. Well, at the time I didn't know it was a tear, so I didn't compete in anything else for the rest of the day.
Hold on, somebody outside alarm. So if y'all listening, y'all alarm is going off. Like.
Okay.
Somebody can.
I mean, the cross there then.
Yeah.
Oh, they found it.
Okay.
They were probably listening.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Boop, boop. Good to go.
So I leave there like the night I go home, like the coach come to my house and thing, like it was so bad I couldn't go to my bedroom. I had to sleep like in the guest room, which was on the same floor as the entrance, right?
Couldn't go down the steps
couldn't go down the steps, nothing like that.
So thinking, carry your arm, Ronaldo?
My father don't come to these sporting things, but I ain't got no time for that. So like
I could just picture like Ronaldo kind as him like up in the arms there, like come shit, gonna be okay. Not too bad.
But no bye. My father is like, bye, watch you.
He lift your posh.
Even if somebody else lift me up, my father probably just come and just sit there. Like, what is point on? But watch it. Them man from that generation come from a different cloth. Yeah. Them man come from a different cloth. I tell you, the first life lesson my father ever teach me: don't be a weak cat. So I get home and like the coach come over the night and like he brought like a leg brace, right? Cause we didn't know what happened. It happened the afternoon, and this is inter-school weekend. So of course, everywhere closed, like, thinking it's just like a strain or something. So the next day, he asked me, well, if I'm competing. I said, I got to compete in the triple jump. Like, the triple jump was my event. Right, the triple jump was my event, and like I had so here this is the joke, right? So here the joke. No, this is the thing. The thing was, I wanted to break the national record because like I break the national record in training. So I done work out. Yeah, I done got like Bastille High record, I got inter-school record and I got the national record. So like, I was hyped for this weekend. Like this weekend I was hyped. So yeah, boy, I gone top boy jumping, right? I remember when I do the first pass, right? The official come up to me and was like, so what you're doing is you're running with your right leg, but you're just pulling your left leg. Like you're just pulling it with you, like hey, you ain't running on it. And I was like, oh, you'll be alright, man, you'll be alright. So I continued the thing. Actually, medal. I didn't do as well as I wanted to do, but a medal.
You got a medal?
Yeah, I got a medal.
Azim is a national hero.
So here the job now.
National dunce.
Exactly, because the next day, right? Next day, of course, which is the Monday after into school, we go to Dr. Astafan, right? Yeah, the office is down on what is Rosemary Lane? Next to National Bank. Yeah. So go on in there. He do the examination and thing, and he's like, "You walk in here?" No, the doctor asks if you walk in here, like you don't know. Okay,
something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong. So he was like, "How this happened?" So I explained to him and thing, and he's like, "So this happened like on Saturday?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "So what you do yesterday?" I jump, triple jump. They must say, "What?" When eventually, like, I had to go to Trinidad and so when eventually, like, I went to like Trinidad and like they do all the imaging and so I had like an MRI. Like my hamstring is like literally hanging on by a few threads at this point.
So you had a hamstring?
Which it probably wasn't that bad, but the triple jump the day after
damaged it more.
Bye. That was the end of that day. That's the end of that day, bye.
And then you just yell on the knees, yell on the hamstrings. Just...
Watch it, let me tell you something. My children ain't doing a sports in school, because all these injuries coming back to haunt me now. Like, like now I got bad shoulders, I got bad knees, bad ankles.
That's all athletes.
Yeah, man.
When they be 30 and 35 and so, the body just had to pop down by you.
I was having like these crazy shoulder pains and thing. And then the doctor was like, "You used to javelin or something? You look small." I was like, "Yeah, I used to javelin." He's like, "Oh, okay."
I used to do shot put. I'll do it once for thing.
Your medal?
For medal? Now do it for heat, so I don't participate in sports there. But I want to give me house points, blue house, so they could win.
Mm-hmm.
So I come first in shot put like in the heat.
In the heat.
And they force you to do it?
They tried to, but I declined humbly.
You want? Yeah, he doesn't want
to do that.
What? That is act like you can't say you don't want to in school.
They used to try that day, but it's me. It's me. It's one thing is gonna happen. Either you're gonna bang me and thing, I'll call my parents. And either way, I still ain't doing it. So, but like I tell you, after that fall day in partial school, I stopped the physical activity. That's why I'm fat.
That kind of food?
No, but your body eat food. But when you're inactive, that's a whole different story.
Well, falling as an adult is a near-death experience.
Falling as an adult.
But it's scary, you know?
Falling as an adult hurts.
When you, as a child, your body is just nimble, so you fall and you just, your bones and everything.
Also, very close to the ground too, so the fall ain't bad.
When you fall as an adult, right?
Not only that, you haven't managed to build up the enormous ego that most adults have.
That's true, yeah. The ego is what really hurt them.
Right.
Yes, and you know how, I know this is such a fact, you know what's my biggest falling fear? Falling on 4th Street on a Friday.
In a drain.
I'm not getting up, so the ambulance coming.
Yeah, I fell on stage. At that point, you have to sell it.
I fell on a stage once at ZZ during a live recording of a president ceremony. But it was on camera though.
Oh.
They called my name to receive the prize.
And you fell before you got on the
fell when I walk up the step to and bam, 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 bam. By the studio break down with laughter. And people who were watching just like, what are you laughing for? What a noise was. I get up and walk and like nothing happened.
Of course.
I just get up and
I fall the other day as an adult, right? Not like, as an adult, you just trip a lot. You just trip, but you don't actually hit the ground. But I actually hit the ground, like proper fall. Like not the on your knees one, like the fall, like your torso slamming on the ground.
Like brap.
Like brap. And when I hit the ground, I say, oh my gosh, this thing hurting. I said, I never remember a fall hurting like this before. I said, wow. Like, literally, I felt this shock go through my body, and I was just like, wow. And I literally just stayed here for a while, because I was like, what?
You just lay down?
Yeah, I just literally stayed there for a while because I was like, wow, this actually hurt.
And you know what makes it worse? When you're trying to stop the fall, so you're just grabbing for all kind of things. And
I am not going to fall. I refuse to fall. I grab it on newborn babies, everything. I grab it on things. May fight me, you know. We're not going to the ground.
Indeed.
Oh no, I fall 4 times in my life. The last one was in the bathroom.
Oh, them there does be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. In your bathroom.
I don't know if it's because you're wet.
Jade both. What do happen?
I don't know if it's because you're wet, it just hot so much.
I in the shower, right? And I realized the water ain't getting down in the drain. It just like building up. So what's doing this, boy? So I saying it's like a piece of soap or something like down in the thing and so. So I said, anyway, when I finish bathing, I'm gonna lay and then clean out the thing. So I shampoo in me here now. You know, shampoo in here, your eyes closed.
Right.
You don't want to get burns. So I rinse it out me here now, and I open my eyes just in time at the exact moment that a frog the size of this
oh my gosh
leap out of the drain up to my face.
Nope. So a frog is always blocking the drain.
The whole bathroom getting destroyed.
Me afraid frogs, but like happening like that.
No, me afraid frogs.
No, but me afraid frogs, but who wants a frog to jump
happening like that? That's the last thing you're expecting, like while you're shampooing your hair.
And it wasn't even a cute frog. He was like white, like a
wood slave.
Like a wood slave.
So then there was a toad, one of them broad, nasty
looking
green, like the grey green ones.
My soul left my body, and I in there scrabbling like shots just fire. And I attempt to jump out the tub and fall. And my knee, boot up on the toilet, break the toilet. Water shooting up in the ear. And I drop on the edge of the bathtub and my back right here.
Oh, so you were winded too.
Bam! I said, oh!
That one will come back to haunt you.
Bye.
That one will come back to haunt you.
Yeah, bye.
You can't afford to fall again ever in life.
That's the last part.
I want still. Out the bathroom, naked as a man. When I come back in there, water everywhere, just like, yo, like, this is a really, really bad situation, man.
Hi. So we'll take a very, very short break and we'll come back with more Island Tea on WINN Media SKN. We'll be right back.
Looking for the best price on your third-party insurance? Well, look no more. The Insurance Company of the West Indies, ICWI, has the best protection at the best price with no deductible. What are you waiting for? Click, call 465-8753 or visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road or in Nevis number 22 Solomon Arcade, Main Street. Payment options available.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Imagine a place that has all that you need. All of the things for your business to succeed. Furniture, copiers, laptops and more. TDC Business Center is your #1 store. Print and copy and scan and fax. Our copy center does all of that. If you're having a party and you need chairs and tents, we've got all your needs and grand rentals for rent. The TDC Business Center has everything your business needs. Superior copy and printing services, business equipment and furniture, and a wide array of renting materials for all occasions. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
You better power up. You better power up in February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Yes! In February, we are giving you 3 ways to power up. 1. Power up for your Value Club points in February. Yes! For the first time ever, every Value Club customer will earn double point on all Value Club purchases at Value Mart in St Kitts and Nevis. 2. Power up in our Power Play, where lucky customers will win their purchase free. Just listen out for the Power Play alert, and if you are at the Mystery Power Register of the day, you win your purchase absolutely free with double points and more. 3. Power up your saving with the Horsford's Value Mart Red Tag Value Deal. Yes! Power up with the savings with huge discount on select Value Deals items. Power up your points. Power up your saving. Win your purchase free in our Power Play. Power up February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Don't miss it.
Terms and conditions apply.
You better Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
My brother, I'm my God. Unquenchable fire. There is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. There is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. The ruler of that land, which is far away, his name is King Selassie, King of kings and Lord of lords. The ruler of that land, which is in the east, his name is King Selassie. When I say it, there is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. There is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. Shut. Babylon, they want to take away the Ark of the Covenant from y'all. Ark of the Covenant cannot be taken away from Addis Ababa. Respect. There is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. Hear me when I say there is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa. Kings of kings and lords of lords, ruler of creation. His name is King Selassie. Mussolini tried to invade Ethiopia, but he conquered. His name is King Selassie. Rule and respect. There is a land far, far away. It's called Addis Ababa.
Yes. And there was a lamb, and it's called King Haile Selassie, the first ever living.
Ever faithful, ever sure?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Black King, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's black.
Mm-hmm.
Black.
Quiet.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and we are joined in studio with Marlene. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here with such youth. You exude such youth.
My knees hurt, so let's,
And my back hurts as well.
Yeah, we're
Lord of
body
mercy.
aching, so let's
We are
use
youth.
You must be stronger than me.
Use youth lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just look like.
We are youth, but we receive several childhood injuries that are now coming back to haunt us.
So where do I go? Because I always say, I wish I were young. Because I feel old. And now if the young people are feeling old, revert back to babies?
No, it seems as though you feel younger than me, so.
Have you fell vigorously throughout your life?
Have I fallen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Listen, people have that on video, holding me ransom. I fall, like, literally many times. and I don't wear heels. That's what happens when you get older. You just fall. When you're young, you fall, and you can, like, run it out and catch it, and,
Mm-hmm.
When you're old, you fall, and
you
just have to let it go. When people laugh at you, you just have to say, man, me old. I can't help.
Oh, wow. So you're here on behalf of the Ministry of Culture?
That is correct.
The Department of Culture.
The Department of Culture,
Yes. We want to know how to graduate to a ministry. That's a bit of a mystery. We're not sure yet, but... Well, we could ask him. Yeah. We could ask him. He's
it's just a word. It's just a matter of changing,
No,
something.
it's more than a word. It's more. There's weight. There's weight. Do you know that St Kitts Department of Culture has been around for 26 years?
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
Do you know where it is?
If I know where the office is? No, you?
It's not.
I do. Every day, every day. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave that with you and the public.
Okay.
And when you go on a fact-finding mission or a
I kind of know where it is, but I'll let it slide.
treasures.
And you're more
I
likely
challenge
to
everyone to find.
No, don't. Let's
Wait,
not.
it's not on Victoria Road? That's not.
I'm not giving anybody any
Right,
clues.
go figure it out.
It's not for us, it's for the listeners.
Listeners, walk it out.
Oh,
Figure
okay.
out where we office is.
All right.
Yeah, and we welcome
Where
you.
it is.
We always, whoever finds it and comes in, we welcome you
With-
with open arms.
Oh, I thought it
You
was
have
a
coffee
prize.
and tea?
Huh?
You have coffee and tea and water for people who come to the...
We actually do.
Oh,
But
wow.
because people can't find it,
They don't get it.
It's just.
we got a lot upon storage. So. Yeah, but if you
So
come,
we
we'll
come in
find you
there
something. We'll find you something. We got a water machine. We can give you a cup of water.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
That's
By
more
the
than
way,
most places.
Marlene, somebody's saying that you're not aging.
Oh,
That's true.
who said that?
That's not true.
Let them show themselves.
Joella, she's
Thank
saying it on the
you.
live.
Oh, thank
She sent it on the
you.
live. She said you're not aging, which is very true.
Bless. Thank you. One kind soul.
It's probably all the falls.
I'm telling you. Because you have to put makeup on to cover up the scratch. And then, look seamless.
Oh boy, but you have some news for us today?
Yes, I've got some fantastic news for you guys and for our listeners. Even though you might not know where St. Kitts Department of Culture is housed, we do a lot of work. We do a lot of work, I would say behind the scenes, and we're kind of like the humble soldiers of culture. Our office, we have specialists that deal with different areas. We've got a music specialist, a dance specialist. We have research and documentation specialist. And we touch on all those different areas. And we focus on intangible cultural heritage. So you'll see our officers, our specialists going out into the field and training. So people like Royd, who's the drumming specialist, we have a drumming program that's been around for decades, where he goes into the schools and teaches children
I played
to
with
drum.
Royd,
Okay, so
in Pasha School.
So you understand, drumming is an amazing release, tension, stress, as well as part of our heritage. Marcia Jeffers, she goes into the schools and teaches dance, and dance, performing arts, that covers like our folklore, our traditional dances, as well as modern and all the other styles that are within that genre. We also have our research and documentation specialist, which is the area that I work in. And what we do is we try to document our intangible cultural heritage, and that's why I'm here today. Because 2 years ago, we received funding from UNESCO to do a project that helps to build capacity, strengthen capacity in terms of inventorying. What does that mean? Building capacity, we need people to be able to inventory. To inventory, you must document. To document, you have to use certain mediums. Photography, audio recorder, video recorder, and even written. Right?
Yeah.
So this project, we want to ultimately safeguard ICH. Now, ICH can be expressed in a few different sectors. Performing arts. You've got oral traditions. You also have nature and the universe, and you have traditional craftsmanship. So in performing arts, an example of that in St. Kitts and Nevis is our folklore.
Right.
Everybody knows the folklore, masquerade, Makajambi actors,
Clown,
and so
et cetera,
on.
yeah.
Right. You physically see them, but they are keeping a tradition alive by dancing through performance. How will we preserve that intangible cultural heritage is that knowledge must be transferred to somebody. Right? So this program, this project that we've been doing for 2 years is to train people to be able to interview, go out into the community and interview the community and find out what do you want to safeguard in your community. You know how, I'm sure you guys have stories too of where you grew up or the area where you live. There's something about a heritage site, or there's something about a person that has this particular skill, or is a storyteller, or is a shoemaker, or makes costumes for carnival, has some kind of skill that falls into a tradition that Kittitians and divisions hold and uphold. The thing about intangible cultural heritage, I'm not going to say it's a job. The community keeps it alive. We don't go and say, okay, you must dance masquerade or else. No one's going to pay you. No. Somebody in the community said, I love doing this. They learned it from an elder who taught them the steps, the dances, showed them the clothing to wear, the music that's played with it. And the next generation said, I want to join that group.
Pass it on.
And then we perform at carnival, but because of tourism, any time of year, any event, people are booking and hiring the folklore to come and perform at their parties, which is fantastic. Because why? Now the groups make money. They're employed. But ultimately, if you have a folklore group, and I'm using this as an example because I want people to really understand what I'm getting at. If the people in the community decide, well, I'm not going to play masquerade anymore. I just don't feel like it. All the groups said that one time. Carnival comes around. There's nobody. It's done. It's going to end. So we want to keep the tradition alive. There are some ICH, we call them ICH elements, intangible cultural heritage elements, are alive and well. I made reference to the masquerade. They're very healthy. You know, there's like multiple masquerade troops around and they're excelling, so they're fine. There are others that are a bit challenged, like the actors. However, there's a rise because there are groups that are training the next generation. Makajambis. We're very worried about them. We've been reaching out to them, and we're behind the scenes in collaboration with them to see how we can keep this going on. We have people in the community who are training, people like Zach. He's worked and teamed up with Culture before and continues to, and is teaching people the art form, you know, and reviving some of the things, you know, some of the folklore. Business. Nega business. He's got juniors who are doing Makajambi masquerade, clown. We have people in the community who are reviving David and Goliath, Giant and Despair.
There was one called Mummies as well, right?
And Mummies also, you know. And again, you know, there is a distinction between mummies and the masquerade. However, the costumes are similar. So that's in the performing arts area. But when you look at ICH in terms of nature and the universe, herbal medicine, our plants, our agriculture, agro-processing. So people are in farming. Agro-processing is when you take the foods that you're growing and you transform them into a product that you can package and sell, whether it be tea, whether it be cassava, flour, et cetera, et cetera. In the area of traditional craft, string band, who makes quattros? Who makes fife? Who makes the big drum? These are our tradition bearers. So the tradition bearers are the people who are keeping the tradition alive, and they're practicing it, or whether they're making something, and the method that in which they make it is the ICH. That's the intangible culture for them to make that product. So this 2 years project, we've been building capacity. We did a little bit of research during a month last year, and we had 7 research teams here in St. Kitts who went out into the community. There were 3 in Nevis, and each team consisted of a coordinator, an interviewer, and a documentalist. And they went out into particular zones, and they gathered information, and they brought back the results of their findings. And we have a seminar that is planned for the 24th of this month at Shadwell Great House, and we're going to showcase the results of the findings. And We're going to have a website that will be made so that the public will be able to go onto the website, see the information, whether it be photographs, audio interviews, videos, written documentation, and they can use that for educational purposes, use that in school. But at the very least, we are documenting it so that, if somebody wanted to, start, let's say start making fife. And that's ICH element. We've interviewed the man that makes fife, and we have a video of it, and he's given us, this is how we do it, because he's an elder. So you go closer to the elders because they're the ones that have the best institutional memory of how it was like 10, 20 years ago.
Right.
That our ancestors didn't document that way.
Right.
And as Afro-Caribbean people, we have a cultural tradition of oral history. We chat, we talk. Storytelling, right? So you pass that on through generations, through your parents, family members, or
Even
people you have.
songs.
Absolutely. Songs are a part of it too. Rhymes, childhood rhymes and games that you would play growing up. These things are ICH. So we really are glad that at the end of this 2 years that the government has committed and has most recently, I would say, invested in the sustainability of all the work we're doing in putting money into our secretariat. We've established an ICH secretariat in Department of Culture, which will continue the work.
Right.
And the people who we've trained, that's our ICH network in the community. And so it allows us now, as we continue the work, because culture is a very small staff. We don't have the big enough staff that we need to really reach everybody in the country. So we have to partner with people in the community. So now we can call upon somebody who we've trained that knows how to interview, knows how to document, put a 2 people or 3 people team together and say, somebody called in and told us that in this area, this was going on. We want you to go out there and do some interviewing and document and stuff like that. And within our budget, we'll create a stipend for the services that are rendered, and then we get the results and we're able to document and preserve that for the next generation.
Fascinating.
So, so has the St. Christopher National Trust been engaged in this exercise?
We've invited them to training. They're very much a stakeholder in ICH because when you think of the St. Christopher National Trust, they focus on built heritage. And built heritage are our heritage sites around the country. And they focus on taking care and safeguarding that. We deal with the intangible cultural heritage. So wherever there is built heritage, there's always a story. People have always lived, and you have to do the research to see what ICH is associated with built heritage. Right. So there's lots of stakeholders, not just National Archives, St. Christopher National Trust, Ministry of Education, because we need to work with education in terms of the curriculum and have people understand the value and importance of these cultural traditions and safeguarding them. We need our children and our young people to understand their roots, their foundation, and you get that first from home. Then you get that through
practitioners themselves.
Yes, you get that through education and the transfer of knowledge. So education is a stakeholder, tourism is a stakeholder, because if there isn't something to see, no one's going to come.
Right.
Why do you visit another country? Besides the fact, well, yeah, that's number one, to shop. Number 2, if you live in a cold climate,
Sadly.
it's for the weather,
Right.
the heat
Right.
and the water and the mountains and the fresh air.
The escape.
And then after that, well, I'm not sure if I'm doing it in the right order, but food.
Yeah.
People love to experience the culture and the food of another people. So those are the things you engage in when you travel to another country. So if you don't keep your culture vibrant, if you don't invest in your culture, your cultural practitioners, there's not going to be anything to see.
Right, you remove the reasons for people to visit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but I don't want to get sidetracked. I want everyone to know that the first and foremost reason why you safeguard is for the people.
For the people, right.
You understand? There are people who take the time out of their busy lives and they love what they love. They do what they do because they love it. Whether it's making, tamarind balls, guava cheese, mabi, these are traditional things that you would say, oh yeah,
But
this is part of who I am.
These are all of the things that I feel add to like a nation's pride, right? The things that we're proud of
Yes.
having, the things that make up our identity.
Yes.
And so I think preservation of these traditions, of these cultural aspects, is important, because as we've seen, some of them have really already begun to lessen and be less prevalent. So what are some of the ones that you guys have been able to document that have really been on the decline as of late?
Okay, well, in terms of performing arts, the three, Victoria Bochum, she actually documented Giant in Despair, The Mummies, and David and Goliath.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did see some of those practice at the in the square for during the carnival.
Yes.
With a lot of young kids. I had a cousin that played David and Goliath.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's something that we're really pleased with, that it's been discovered that in certain communities it's being kept alive.
Oh.
And it's sort of a bit of a revival,
right,
so to speak. And when you think about these things, a lot of the folklore, like David and Goliath, the ones that I mentioned in particular, Mummies, they're plays.
Right.
You know? And these are plays. You have to remember that our people are very spiritual. And some of the things that are being recited are from scripture. And they're being acted out and performed. Some of the interaction in terms of those art forms is historical, you know?
Right.
So it's not just watching them and being visually entertained, you know? I mean, the performers love performing it itself. We love to watch it. But there's a history lesson in there.
Right.
And there's a topic for discussion, you know? So I'm just using that as an example that education can incorporate that into their curriculum in terms of teaching the curriculum.
Right.
There are lessons to be learned. You understand? So that's why, you know, it's a lot deeper than that, even though, you know, it satisfies many different needs, you know, visually watching it, hearing the music, seeing people perform. That's all lovely, but it can be used as a teaching tool. And, you know, another element, the broom. You know the broom that you see the Bobo Dreads walking around and selling? Yeah. They're not the only ones that make it. You know, we discovered that there's a gentleman who makes it, and the documentation that was done by the IC's research team, they went with him, they saw the tree that he got it from, right, they saw the process and the stick, and you know, and these, trust me, if you have one of those brooms, they're not going to fall apart so easy.
No.
You know, you have the long one that can reach the roof. How do you clean your roof without one of those?
That's a good
Does everyone
question.
have a ladder? I mean, how often do we clean our roofs? But, you know, the ceiling. But you have to get a ladder and step up on the ladder, and, you know, but the
those
brooms
were
are...
always staples in everyone's homes. Like,
That's right. That's right. You know, they're traditional.
Yeah, you had to get one of the brooms. Like, that's for the cobwebs.
Yeah, broom.
Exactly. Who's going after that spider in the corner? Not me. You know, get the broom, smush it. You know, but you know, that was something as well. Somebody did calabash. Calabash, and I love calabash bowls, right? But to see the process that this man goes through to make it from the tree and the fruit or the plant,
The board, yeah.
and what he does to get it to the stage where it's this beautiful bowl, I'd never seen it before. You know, it was really, really interesting, you know, and these are traditional cultural things. So it's not... the exercise was not for us at Department of Culture to say, well, these are the 10 things, and we're done. We have to go to the community and find out what they have been preserving, what have they been doing. Because I can't make something up and it doesn't exist. Who's going to keep it going? I have a job. Do you know what I mean? Even though there's something, I mean, I have a list of things here. Tea meetings, Sagwa, you know, you mentioned Nega business. I could say that this is ICH, but I'm not performing it. I'm not keeping it alive. And if I can't find somewhere in the community where it's happening, then, you know, we can't, we don't have money to put into safeguarding that thing and bringing it back to life.
Right.
So we're looking for things that are happening already in the community that the people love, that the people find important, and they want to safeguard. And the ICH Secretariat is there to give support. to guide them, to give administrative support, help to plan projects. Like we might do, they might say, okay, well, we need to train to transfer that knowledge to the next generation. We have to have a workshop, and so we might help them organize that workshop, try and find funding to do the workshop, because the tradition bearer, the person teaching must be paid.
Right.
You need materials to do the workshop. You need, transportation and a whole list of things when you're organizing a training session. And you want the tradition bearer to benefit from that. We're not taking the knowledge. As Department of Culture and the ICH Secretariat, we are safeguarding it by documenting it. Everybody gets their credit. The name of the tradition bearer is there. The people who did the research, the people that took the photographs get their credit, and it's there for research, for educational purposes.
Very important.
But the tradition bearer is to earn from it.
Right.
And some of them do it as a hobby, and they might not know how to change. I just love doing it. But the house broke down. They're not making a lot of money. So that is a joy to be able to say, you've got this amazing skill. Have you ever thought about doing this to make some money from your product? They might not know how to do that, but we can provide our experience and expertise and guide them in the right direction. So the Secretariat is there for support, and we'll do whatever we can do and to help shine the light on that. And another example of how a community can benefit, if you do identify an ICH that is in that community, and I like to use the actors as an example because they originated in St. Peter's. Even though there are troops from different areas, it originated there. So Chateau de Poissy exists, and it was there, and the ruins are still there. So St. Peter's is the home of the actors. So what if you could brand that village, St. Peter's, home of the actors, or St. Peter's actors? And now when tourists come into the country, they go into St. Peter's, and there are tour guides telling you the story and the history of Chateau de Poissy and the Governor General and how the actors.
Most people don't know.
Right.
You understand? So now you've turned it into a business. Now people from the community, they might have all kinds of ideas of how they can. You're bringing foreign currency into the area, people to spend. So what can you make around the concept of the actors and your neighborhood and that notoriety to make money? There's nothing wrong with that. You understand? So it's a way to, you could create your own business, be self-employed, and those kinds of things. So there's definitely a way for, we know that cultural workers contribute to the GDP.
Yep. Someone is asking, what about the making of cassava bread? And they're saying that this is one of the things that we're losing in St. Kitts right now. Not many people make cassava bread anymore.
Well, I'm glad to say we've documented it. That was one of the ICH elements that was documented. So I'm glad to hear that from the public. That just sort of confirms that we're on the right track.
So, Amali, I have a question.
Yes.
It's obvious that you guys have been documenting all these types of ICH, and you said earlier that I mentioned that there is plans to perhaps host some of these things like on a website or something. So, for instance, if I'm interested in how to make cassava bread, is it set up in a way where I could go to the website and see the documentation that is related to that particular skill?
Yes.
Or is
yes.
Oh, that's the
yes.
Okay.
So when the website is established, which will probably be in the next 2 months, we'll have that up and running and let the public know. Yes, you'll be able to go on the website. You'll be able to see the list of elements in St. Kitts, the list of elements in Nevis, and we'll continue to add to it.
Right.
You should be able to go see the photographs that we took of the process, watch the video of the process, or hear an audio of an interview and get the history of the process. Okay. So yes, you will be able to. And as I said before, everybody gets their credit in terms of copyright, the name of the tradition bearer, who took the information, and things of that nature. And we're very excited to be able to share that. and to continue the work. I mean, the UNESCO 2003 Convention for Safeguarding ICH has given us the terminology of what we in St. Kitts and Nevis have been doing for decades. You know?
Right.
Why was there Christmas sports? Why did Basil Henderson start Carnival?
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Why does Culturama happen in Nevis?
Nevis.
Because the people are speaking and saying, this is important to us, and we want to celebrate our history and our heritage and our cultural traditions. We don't want them to die, and this is how we're going to express it, through dance, through music, through display, and things of that nature. So we're very glad that we were able to receive the funding from UNESCO. We will be knocking on their door again to continue the work and help to take it further in terms of safeguarding. And we want the public to follow us and participate too. If it's a great opportunity for young people who like to talk, to interview, to document, camera, video. We're going to continue to organize training workshops so we can call upon you to help with the work. Check out our Facebook page, ICH St. Kitts and Nevis. What is it? ICH, St. Kitts and Nevis ICH, or check out Department of Culture Facebook page, which is St. Kitts Culture Beat.
Someone department. I think that's what it is.
Someone has a question on the live. They're asking for the crafts and beverages that we produce. Is there a market plan to export to our neighboring islands?
Well, you know what? It depends on the individual.
Because you document, but you also assist in.
That's right. I'll give you an example. One of the research teams interviewed a lady that makes mabi. Now she just makes it privately. I'm not even sure if she makes it for her community, but we know that mabi is something that people drink here in St. Kitts, so it's a valuable ICH. It depends on it has to be the person and how far they want to take it.
Right.
I can encourage them, I can guide them, I can give them not just me, but other expertise can say this is how you go about that process. We speak to maybe Ministry of Trade, speak to Foreign Affairs, and help them to find the path of how to do that. But ultimately, the person has to have that drive to want to do it. We can't force them to do it. She might be fine just making her mabi and selling it in her community.
Right.
It doesn't want to take on the headache of this big production. While I know other individuals like Anastasia Elliott, she's the producer of Yaffine and another a line of food products, as well as healthcare products and skincare products. And she recently opened up her shop in the mall, Pelican Mall. And she exports throughout the Caribbean. She exports, she goes to trade shows. She has decided that is her life, that is her livelihood. That's what she does. She grows the product, the plants, and turns it into a product, packages it, sells it, and exports it. So it just depends on the individual and the person. But at the very least, if somebody is out there doing it and they're like, wow, I have a lot of lemongrass in my yard and I have lemongrass tea every morning, and I need a job. Let me see how I can make some money doing this. You might not know how or where to start, but if you contact the ICH Secretariat, we could guide you in the right direction. If we don't have all the answers, we can say, okay, this is what you could do, this is what other people have done, and you have your own business. And the same thing with the documentation. We're giving young people or whoever has participated in our training or will in the future skill sets that now you've become more employable.
Right.
You understand? Now you can say, I know, if you are good at writing and you've been an interviewer in terms of the research program, what's to say that you can't be a news reporter and work for WINN FM or one of these radio stations, and you've got that credibility on your resume.
Right.
You're part of the research team, so you know how to conduct an interview properly, and you know how to do the research, or you know how to operate a video camera. So buy a camera and take photos of people and make some money, but we can still call upon you and say, we need you for this. I'm going to pay you a stipend to do this research for us. And so it's building the capacity. That's what the 2 years project has afforded us to do. And we're glad because we need the bodies, we need the people, we need the young people to engage them, and it can be fun. All kinds of things. We need someone to put things up on the Facebook page and market the activities that we do. Video editing. Culture doesn't have a bag of money sitting down there, but we do what we can in terms of working together. If we do have some money for a project, then we definitely budget that work into the project. But at the very least, we welcome volunteers as well. Somebody that wants to work with their community, they want to connect with their elders, and they've got skills in marketing, or your community needs you. There are elders who need you, and they might not be. Sometimes you don't talk to everyone in the community, but living down the street could be someone that could use your support and your assistance. So through ICH, it's alive and well, and it's always changing and moving, and we need young minds to help guide the process and get involved. So we welcome people who are interested to get in touch with this culture department here in St. Kitts. Check out our Facebook page, check out the ICH page, and the community to continue to feed us with the information and tell us what it is that's valuable to you in your community that you don't want to lose.
Interesting. Interesting.
Was I giving a sermon? Hallelujah. Praise is unto the Most High every time. You don't know.
Love that.
Well, do you have any? We've come to the end. Do you have any last?
Yeah. It flies, right?
Well, you can stay, but we're leaving.
Oh, it's cold in here. No.
But any final words on the event that's coming up?
Yes. Well, as I said, it's going to be a showcase.
This time, date, place, everything.
It's going to be a showcase on the 24th of February at Shadwell Great House. We've chosen. We're blessed that we've been afforded this beautiful great house to be in, and it's going to be from 10 till 11:30. We're going to have an opening that's kind of private, invitation only, because that's where we're going to present, to government officials, stakeholders, our tradition bearers, and we're inviting the media. I believe WINN FM has been invited as well. And we're going to showcase, we're going to talk about the project, the benefits of the work and the results that we have, and demonstrate. We're going to be showing the video of the research that we've done. And then during the course of the day, between 11:30 and 3 o'clock, we're inviting the public to come to Shadwell and see the showcase. We'll have videos there. We'll have the tradition bearers there, some of them, and you can see what it is that they do, what it is that they produced, either through video or talking to them directly. So it's all in support of that, in support of our cultural workers and the work that they do and the skills that they have, and appreciating it and safeguarding it.
Yeah, wonderful.
So come out and see. And we will obviously be observing COVID-19 pandemic rules and regulations to make sure that
You just said pandemic?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jada.
But we will always be...
Only person that heard it.
We'll always be operating in a position of safety. We don't want to endanger anybody at all. So we will be respecting the rules and regulations that have been put in place with social distancing and hygiene, et cetera. But we do want people to come through during the day. We've invited teachers and students and the general public. If you're interested in culturally what's happening, come check it out.
Okay, brilliant. Amali, thank you very much for sharing with us and for all that. I had no idea that this project was being undertaken, especially.
You don't listen to the radio?
No.
No, we don't. We're on it. We don't want to listen to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when we leave, we just turn everything off.
Everything.
Yeah.
So when you figure out where culture is, you're welcome to stop by and meet some of the other minds that are in there doing the work. So. Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we do hope to have you back sometime soon to give an update on, on how the project is going or went.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. So the public has heard.
Well, I'll be here.
You have spoken.
I'll be here. So if
deny.
you don't return...
Okay, well, just make sure you open the door. I'm going to come back.
No problem, no problem. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Island Tea here on WINN FM 98.9. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
It's Thursday.
Tomorrow is the weekend.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah, it
Friday.
is. See how hard I work? I'm like, what day is
it? Yeah. Tomorrow is the weekend.
Yay.
So, folks, once again, drive safely, Don't drink too much and drive. Please use our roundabouts correctly. Indicate when exiting and don't overtake in the roundabout and don't switch lanes haphazardly in the roundabout. Or at all, just stay in your lane, figuratively and literally.
Yes.
Also, please let us remember to park our vehicles in a way that allows our sanitary workers to collect our trash in a timely fashion. We have to keep our country clean, and then we all have to play our part.
Stop blocking.
And stop illegally dumping too. That's disgusting.
Oh.
Yes.
Throwing your fridges and so in the gut and then nastiness there. Gross.
Uncivilized.
Uncivilized. And finally, let us. I mean, every day we come in here and we just end up talking about laws that are outdated and archaic and irrelevant to current, life here in the Federation. And I think it's time that we sit down with Juicy Byron.
Big Juice.
With the big Juice himself.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I just want to commend this team here. This is the first time I've been on.
This so emotional, yeah.
You're gonna make me cry?
I'm sorry, I might
Please,
cry.
Amali, tears up. Don't do that.
I'm just like, I've got goosebumps, not just because it's like 10 below in here, but because all the faces I see in here are young faces. I'm so proud of all of you. Like, you've got a young producer back there, Jade, female producer. You've got, well, you called me young earlier, so it's right back at you, right? But really, seriously, to the listeners, I'm commending these young adults. I just love to hear how they're speaking. They're upstanding citizens, caring about the country, and they're laughing. Okay, I don't know how upstanding they are, but right now,
upstanding to an extent.
Right now, I just feeling some love in the room, and I'm really proud. Like they're my children, even though I didn't birth all of them, because they're doing good. All the time we hear about young people, a delinquent this. These are some young people who I don't know how they've been given the opportunity by WINN FM to be in this studio and to be producing some amazing programs, and I love the topics y'all talking about. So continue and blessings going forward.
Oh my gosh, just thank
you.
Amali, don't grab a napkin. Oh dear.
I appreciate that so much, Marlene.
Right?
Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you
seriously,
very much.
from the heart.
Wow, I don't even. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Foggy glasses.
We were talking about Big Juice.
Yeah, back to Juicy. Juicy, let us sit down and discuss the nation's outdated and some of the nonsensical laws that we have in this country that are actually hindering the growth of our people, and especially the laws that relate to sexual offences and sexual conduct as it relates to minors.
Indeed.
Justice for Jack One.
Justice for Jack One.
I'll tell you that story after.
I might never leave. I'm going to leave now.
We're finished.
Topics
And
are
lastly,
great.
I'll turn it over to our master of ceremonies, His Excellency the Honorable Sir Kevon Emmanuel Hanley.
Only one today.
Yeah, only one today.
Okay. And remember, everybody, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not